there's 25 Democratic presidential candidates at this, maybe 24 today.
Yeah.
Might have changed. They're talking about issues that Arizonans, often aren't focused on. But healthcare is something that people care about.
Right.
They want good healthcare coverage that they're not going to lose if they get sick, that they can keep if they have a pre-existing condition. They're concerned about their prescription drug prices, premiums, and deductibles. Those are the things we need to be focused on. And this, concept of, healthcare for folks that are here illegally I don't think it's something that
it's just a bridge too far.
Yes.
Yeah. We're talking with Mark Kelly, retired astronaut and U.S. Senate candidate. Let's talk a little bit about the person you'll likely be running against, and that is Senator Martha McSally. Where do you agree with the senator? Is there any positions that you agree with her on, and where do you think she's done a good job?
Well, I don't know her positions on every single issue.
Right.
I'm sure there are many places that we agree. We both served in the military. I certainly respect her service in the United States Air Force. We're both, combat pilots.
Right.
Issues, like as an example, what's some of the issues going on in the Middle East with national security, or North Korea, nuclear weapons. I imagine there are places where we agree, but there are places that we clearly are different.
Such as?
Such as healthcare. I really strongly feel that if somebody has a pre-existing condition, that they can have and keep their health insurance. And, that distinguishes me from Senator McSally clearly. And there are certainly other places as well.
Who would win in a dogfight? No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't ask that because an A-10
depends on the airplane.
Yeah, an A-10. Yeah, it's not exactly
right. And I
made
flew,
for dogfighting.
Well, and I flew. I flew the F-18 as a test pilot, but
right.
Operationally, I flew an airplane called the A-6 Intruder. It's also an air-to-ground airplane.
Okay.
Kind of similar mission that Senator McSally had. So you put an A-10 against an A-6.
It comes down to who can do more destruction to tanks, right? On the ground. Okay.
Yeah. So we had an anti-tank mission as well, a little bit different than the way they approached it.
We're talking about U.S. Senate candidate Mark Kelly, Democrat running for the seat that Martha McSally is in currently, and we're coming up on the 50th anniversary of man landing on the moon. I imagine that was an inspiration to you to get to become an astronaut.
It was. I was in kindergarten when Apollo 11 happened, when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin went to the surface of the moon. My twin brother, who also became an astronaut, he remembers it vividly, that moment. I don't remember any of it.
But just the fact that man walked on the moon.
My mom says I fell asleep on the floor. So I totally missed
precursor.
it.
My husband has been watching all the specials on TV over the past few weeks about the anniversary.
Right.
He's fascinated with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I am too. I got to be honest.
Well, me too. I was watching a thing on PBS last night. It was really good about, it was detail about Warner von Braun and the engineers and the very beginning Mercury, Gemini leading into Apollo.
Well, we'll bring space back to politics here for just a second. And what do you think of President Trump's plans on space? He wants to go to Mars, and he's talking about a space force. What do you think?
Well, I think the first person to walk on the planet Mars is alive today. It might be some kid in high school. Could be even somebody older than that. We don't know. It's a challenging proposition to send people to Mars and then safely get them back. I think it's something we should be doing as a country. I think when we do these very aspirational things that are very difficult with people, we get tremendous amounts back as a country.
Yeah.
The aerospace industry, from Gemini through Apollo to the space shuttle program, has really powered our economy for decades, large segments of it. And we're a leader in aerospace, and we need to continue to do that.
What about the Space Force, though?
Well, the Air Force Space Command does a very good job with that mission now, right? There's about 20,000 individuals. It's very small. They handle the contracting of satellites and the satellite operations and the launch contracts and, early warning, as part of our total defense, infrastructure. To take that away from the Air Force and build basically a new organization that also has bureaucracy over it, and I just don't think it's the right timing for that. It creates a fifth branch of the military that is significantly smaller than the Marine Corps, which, by the way, was about 190,000 people, which was by far the smallest branch of the military.
Yeah, I just thought you might be all for this because, you could combine your two careers, and be flying a fighter spacecraft.
Hey, I'm for things that operationally make sense, and we consider the cost involved in doing this. I think we always need to consider the budget, and the pros and the cons of these decisions. And with regards to the Space Force, I don't think the timing is right for this.
Okay, retired astronaut, U.S. Senate candidate Mark Kelly, thank you for being with us.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Jim.
Here's our top story.
KTAR News, 92.3 FM, Arizona's news station.